Hiya! How are you? Welcome back. We are going to be with you for the next couple of hours for a craft along, which is amazing. Yes, and it's going to be with one of your most favourite recent launches. It is, of course, the Country Lane Sarah Signature Collection. It's going to be fabulous. I'm going to try and not take up too much time at the start, because Debbie it's an impressive craft along, Debbie, this one, isn't it?
It is a bit. I thought we'd try out a new style of card, and actually it's really easy to do. So once you've got the basic measurements, you can put this into any style of card and any size of card. It does have a front, so I'm hoping we'll get it done. I don't want to rush it too much because we need people to sort of catch up and get it, but we're hoping that we can create a beautiful front like this with our foam flowers. But the main thing we want to create is the inside here with this piece coming through. So once we've worked out that mechanism, like I say, that can be made into any card you like, and it's quite a fancy card, isn't it?
Fancy, so fancy, it is indeed. If you want to craft along with us, definitely not too late. Let me share with you all the things that you're going to need for this craft along. So, selection of goodies from the Sarah Signature Country Lane. So you've got perfect peony, you've got your stamps and dies in there, your light up the lane die, the swirl butterflies, the lace frame, your live, love, grow stamps, the flower forming foam pack, some stamens, leading card and the 12x12s. Then some other bits and bobs from your crafty stash. You're going to need a Gemini, a guillotine, a scoreboard, poker tool, craft knife, ruler, iron, ball tool, ink applicator, a tri-blend tan marker as well, and you will also need this. You've got your different card stocks there, some nesting dies, an ink pad, you've got some adhesives there too as well. So gather those up, get yourself ready. If you don't yet own the Country Lane collection, then you really are missing out. It is a huge collection of amazing goodies for you. So definitely get across to the website, have a little look at everything that's there. I will take you through this in more detail as we go through the show, but you can order this right now today and then watch this craft along back when your products turn up. So do grab a hold of that. It's not just myself and Debbie here with you for the next 2 hours. We've got a special guest as well, and it's the lovely Lisa. How are you, Lisa? Oh, we can't hear Lisa. There she is. How are you doing, Lisa?
I'm good, thank you.
Oh,
How are you?
So really good, thanks. So lovely to have you on the show. Have you got all your bits and bobs gathered and ready?
Yes, I am ready.
Amazing. I'm not taking part today, Lisa, because it looks way out of my league, but I'll be dropping back in on Lisa real soon to see exactly how she is getting on, which is awesome. Lots of you chatting away, as you always do, which we love. Sherry's here. I can see Janet's here as well. Theo's in the Netherlands. Hoi hoi. Laurie, Eleanor, Debbie, Terry as well. Remember, we will take regular breaks. We will take regular breaks as we go through the craft along and recap the steps. But sounds like someone's moving house in the opposite set. And we will, of course, I say we, Debbie will give you recaps of the steps as we go through. But if there's anything we miss, then just drop me a line. Crafters TV on Facebook, Crafters Companion on YouTube. This is going so well, isn't it? Right, Debbie, I'm not going to take up any more time because I know you've got loads to get through today.
Oh dear, yeah. I have had far too much sugar. That is so true. Me and Joe was just very naughty and had some coffee and walnut cake, and it was absolutely delicious. Right, let's get started. Let's pop this to the side. Actually, we'll pop it this side because I need to use the Gemini. The first thing we're going to need is our white cardstock, our guillotine and our scoreboard. So I'm going to take 2 pieces of white cardstock to start with, okay? So we'll get straight into that, and then we're going to take our guillotine. So we're going to trim one of the pieces of card. Let me put my little foot out. We're going to trim this to 10 inches, so the longest side across there at 10 inches. So I have to look across because the lights sort of shine out where the numbers are. So 10 inches and trim that down. Rotate the card, and then we're going to trim this to 7 inches. So 7 inches. And that gives us our first piece of card, okay? So just a quick recap while you're trimming that. 10 inches across, 7 inches down. And then on our second piece of card, we're gonna now do it to 10.5 inches. So 10.5 inches across. Bring that one down, and then again to 7 inches. So 7 inches. Okay, so quick recap. First piece of card, 10 inches by 7 inches. Second piece of card, 10.5 inches to 7 inches. Okay, so both of those are the same in depth. And then we're going to pop that to the side. The next thing we're going to do is grab our scoreboard. So whatever scoreboard that you have, I've just got my Scoremaster, and I'm doing this on the inch side. Now on the biggest piece, so if you put your 2 pieces of card together, you've got your one that's 10.5 inches, okay? So what we're going to score on there is we're going to score first of all on the half fold. Oh, there's my scoring tool. So we're going to score this one at 5 inches. So 5 inches is your half, well, it is going to be the half point. But because we have that smaller one, do you know what? I must have done this on my bigger one, because then you would score again at 10.5 inches. But because I haven't got that, I'm just going to rotate this round and we're going to score in at 1/2 inch. Okay? So if you've got a big scoreboard, I'll just refresh that. This is your 10.5 piece of card. You want to score this. You want to score this at 5 inches and then 10 inches. But if you haven't, and you've got the board like me, where you've got a smaller scoreboard, score at 5 inches, rotate and score at 1/2 inch. Okay. So then you've got your half fold. So when you fold this in half, you've got your half fold piece of card, and then just fold back on your little piece. That will stop it bowing, and then just fold that down. So you've got your piece of card with your folded edge, okay? And then your piece that's 10 inches across, all we're going to do is half fold that. So 5 inches, give that a score down and fold that in half. Okay, so nice and easy. So you'll end up with your 2 pieces of card, just like so. One piece and then your second piece. So that is what's going to make your main bridge of your card. So if I bring my card in, you'll see. So you've got this piece here, which is this piece, and it's going to attach itself, see, just underneath on there. And then this piece is the piece on this side that goes together. So what you'll see next we need to do is die cut these 2 squares out. So let's pop that to the side. Now I'm using my rectangles. So these are the stitched edge rectangles. You can use whatever shape you want, Jo. So this, you don't have to be governed by these. If you've got sort of longer, slimmer dies, they're still going to work as long as you've got that gap. If you've got an oval shape, you can use an oval shape. And all you need is to make sure that you have sort of a frame around the edges so it keeps the rigidity of your card. The great thing about this card is because you've got 2 pieces that you're going to pop together, it keeps the whole structure of the card and enables it to move in and out. So what we're going to do is we're going to take our nesting dies, and just for anyone that wants to know, in case they're using a different brand, I will tell you the measurements of them. We're going to use our top 2, so the 2 biggest of your dies. I'm going to use the smallest die to cut out the frame, and then this die we're going to use together to create a frame around the outside edge. Again, adding structure and stability to our card. So like here, can you see it's open one side? We've got this frame going round, so we'll cut 2 of those together, which will create the frame later on. So firstly, we want to just find a midsection point to use that. So put away your biggest die. I'll give you the measurements of my one. So this one is, it's just over, so I would say that cuts 4 inches by 3 3/4. And this is going to be cut into this section. So move that one out of the way. Let's just cut one first.
Die of this size, could you do this with a craft knife and a ruler if you wanted to? And it's going to be quite difficult. It's going to be quite difficult to get it even, isn't it? But
you can absolutely do that, Jo. And actually, if you've got a ruler, so we've got a ruler here, and you was to just cut in those lines, you could absolutely. So what I would say is find that midsection and use your craft knife and ruler. Absolutely. There's no rules, are there, in crafting? I am just going to find my craft knife. And then we're just going to pop that in. Now what I am going to do, I'm just going to see roughly, it doesn't have to be exact, but I am going to see roughly how far the top is to the bottom, just so I know I get that midsection. So it looks like I'm just have to come up a little bit there with my ruler, and then I know 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it is, I'm pretty much bob on there. So we are going to just place that, and all I'm doing here is making sure I've got a similar gap each side. Again, it doesn't matter that it doesn't have to be exactly perfect. And then I'm going to take some low tack tape and we're going to pop that on. So holding that in, I'm going to put some on the inside there and on the bottom just to make sure that doesn't move. Because it is live, we don't have one that's already cut out, and I want to make sure that that stays in there. I've got my Gemini Junior plates just to pop through, because we can just put this side through, and we're just going to offer that into the mouth of the machine. If you've got the larger Gemini, you can use that. If you've got the Gemini Junior, the way around that is to wrap your piece of card around your metal shim, and then you can die cut it out, and even if you get some marks on the other side, you're going to cover that with cardstock anyway, so it's absolutely fine. So let's take, well, I tried not to get my tape on that side, but it has. There we go. So that gives us our first one, and I'm just going to fold and burnish that again. And then this time what we want to do is to grab our next piece of card, and we're going to do the same, but this time we do want to make sure that it lines up. So let's just take that away. So if you place this die over that top, because it's an identical piece of card, what we are going to do, I'm going to get some tape ready just to pop down. And then we're just going to find that spot again, but this time we're going to place this over the top and just work this underneath. Again, it doesn't have to be absolutely perfect.
So is it important you do this on the side with a tab this time, Debbie, is it, on this piece?
Yes, so this one is the side with the tab.
Awesome.
Yes, absolutely. So I'll just move that other way so you can see that tab is on that side there. So we're just going to pop that down into the middle section. And like I say, it doesn't, just find that middle point. So popping that there, onto there. So that's pretty much in my centre. And all I'm going to do now is just make sure, looking at it by eye, just to check I've got that similar amount down each side, and then we can pop our tape along there again, and then we can die cut that one through. And if it's a little bit out, honestly, it really doesn't matter, because it's when you fold it, you don't really see the inside when it's folded, so it hasn't got to be absolutely perfect, but that is a way of getting it to line up. And then all we're going to do is run that one through.
Amazing. Any questions that you've got as we go through, you can get them into me, Crafters TV on Facebook, Crafters Companion across on YouTube. I sense this is going to be one of those cards, Debbie, that looks really impressive, but then when you break it down and actually put it together,
really
you realise it's just quite simple steps.
Absolutely, absolutely. It's just knowing those measurements, Joe. So I'm just going to quickly recap why everyone's catching up on them, and then we'll hand back to you, Joe, just to let everyone get their pieces die cut out. So our first piece of card is 10 inches by 7 inches. On the left-hand side of that, you want to, then you want to score it at 5 inches. Then on the left-hand side of that, you want to cut out your aperture. On your next piece of card, you want to measure that 10.5 inches by 7 inches. You want to score it at 1/2 inch and 10 inches. If you've only got a small board, score it at 5 inches, turn it over, and then score it at the 1/2 inch to create that tab. And then on the tab side, we want to create that other one. So when this one is then stuck together, we've got our two pieces in place, ready to connect all our other pieces together. Okay, so shall we leave it there and let people catch up, Joe?
Let's, if you look at this and think, gosh, I really do want to give this a go, then we've got the Country Lane collection available for you right now, actually. I'm going to take you through what you've got for the offer there on your screen. The most beautiful paper pad included in here, really lovely florals. I really love the sort of vibrant colour palette you've got on this as well. Really nice, quite sort of sketchy in style, which is quite modern too. So you've got that included. You will get the linen cardstock in there. You will also get the vellums included, and you'll get the flower forming foam as well. So you're going to get all of that. Then we move into the other elements that you've got here as well. Let me just bring these over for you. So this one here, this is your elegant lace that you've got. You get 2 meters of that included. You also get the binding ribbon, 3 colors, and you get 1 meter of each there. You've got the light up the lane, these beautiful nesting dies, which are the lace frame. All of your different sentiments, they're going to be included for you. Then you've also got your dusk till dawn, which is that one there, which is your that's the name of a... I nearly said it earlier. I'm going to have to come clean. So I nearly said it earlier because there is a cocktail bar in Manchester that is called From Dusk Till Porn. It looks like a pawnbroker's on the outside. And this is spelt here. There's only 1 letter difference between Dusk Till Porn and Dusk Till Dawn. So literally it just rolled off the tongue. I feel like I feel like with context that wasn't as bad as it sounded without context, so that's why I just thought I'd cover that. We've also got perennials in pots. And you've got swirled butterflies in there as well. I've said a lot worse, let's face it. Country lace is this one here, that wonderful edgeable, those beautiful peonies that you saw Debbie create with earlier in the wake-up call. Then you've got a cut and emboss folder in there too. And your regular embossing folder. It still tickled me. This is your idyllic meadow, so a really lovely seam building selection of stamps in there. Then you've also got your garden gateway here too, and you've got the cottage window. You will also get in there as well this one too, which I love, which is your hanging sign and vines. You will also get the stamens included as well, and you do also get the 6x6 paper pad, which I didn't share with you, which is exactly the same as a 12x12. It's just resized, 155.80 or 197.90. Lots of you going for this already in this show. You can use your Club Inspired discount. You will get free shipping and handling in the US, as well as free postage and packaging, of course, here in the UK, which is brilliant. If you just want the paper and card selection, we've got that for you. So it's a 6x6 to 12x12, the vellums, and also the linen cardstock. Let's just quickly check in with Lisa and see how she got on with that first section. Did you manage to follow that okay, Lisa? Have you got your sort of card? There we are. Looks perfect, doesn't it, Debbie?
It does. Looks amazing. Are you looking forward to the craft along? Are you getting on okay, Lisa?
I am, yes. Good, thank you.
Fabulous. Hello.
Oh, she's paused. Right, there she is.
She's back.
Right then, Debbie, I am going to... oh gosh, so the closed captions that follow along spelt it the other way, apparently. Anyway, I'm going to go back to you before I make any more mistakes and get myself in any more trouble, Debbie.
Yeah, I love it because it's then not just me that gets into trouble. Okay, now we're going to get those beautiful card pack and paper pad. I'm going to use the pinks in here, but you can use whatever colour you want. So if we get these colours out, you can see all these beautiful colours that you've got. So I'm going to bring out 3 pieces of my cardstock. But depending on what you use, you've got all these beautiful colours. So use whichever one tones with the paper pad that you're going to use. So we're going to bring in, let me pop that to the side, pop that under there. Oh, I love this. I know lots of people love the new hummingbird one, Joe, but I think this is one of my favourite contenders so far this year. I think this pad is stunning. I think it has the right amount of florals in it and background.
It's quite sketchy in style, is it? Like quite painterly?
Oh, yes, it is like painted. That's exactly what it's like. It's almost like it's been painted. It's got that watercolour feel, but it's also got a bit of a contemporary feel about it as well, but also whimsical. It's got a lot of different amounts, but what I do love is this. I love having these wood paneling to match in with your colour tones. So just choose which ones you want to use, and I'm thinking I might actually go for a different one as we let's use, I'm going to use this. Actually, I think this is the one I use. I'm going for the same one, but that's fine. That's fine. And I'm going to tie that in with our pinks. So I'm going to take 2 sheets of that out of here. You get plenty of sheets to choose from. And actually, if you look on the back, you can see all your different varieties that you're getting in there. But I want to tie in that gorgeous pink linen cardstock with our papers here. So the first thing we want to do, let's do our mats and layers for the bottom half. So bring in your guillotine, and we're going to trim our papers down. So we need, I'm going to do 5 pieces, which is why I've got 3 pieces out. So I'm going to take our cardstock and we're going to trim this down to 6 3/4.
So you're doing multiples at the same time here, Debbie?
We're just going to do all our mats and layers.
Have you got multiple sheets together though there, I mean, or is that
No,
in
I
one
haven't.
sheet at a time?
I'm doing them separate. Yeah, no, I'm doing them separate just in case anybody else. So the thing is with craft alongs, Joe, and it's the best thing for us as our demonstrators on the TV. It reins us back in a little bit because it takes us back to that beginner stage. I could put 2 pieces in at once and cut them out and know that I can keep them steady. But I know there's a lot of people that can't do that as well. Not because you're not capable, it's just that if you're not used to doing something multiple times, it can slip a bit, not completely goes in line. So I'm just going to do mine as you would be doing it at home. So I'm taking 1 piece at a time. But what we actually want 5 pieces at 6 3/4 by 4 3/4. So 6 3/4, and then we get 2 pieces out of this 1 piece. So we're going to then go 4 3/4. Okay, and then the next one at 4 3/4. And then we're going to do that again with our other piece of card. So that gives us 2 pieces. Then take another sheet, again 6 3/4, just there. And all you have to do when you're cutting, make sure that you just hold down your plastic piece or whatever guillotine you've got, hold this down because that will stop your card from slipping. So when you slice that down, it stays in line at your 4 3/4. And then our 4 3/4 again. And then we need 1 more piece. So this time, instead of cutting it down here first, I'm just going to cut off my 4 3/4. So 4 3/4, and the reason I do that is because then it saves a bigger piece of card to save for later for mat and laying it, rather than cut a strip off. And then we're going to go do this at 6 3/4. Okay, so that gives us our 5 layers. So pop them to the side because now we want to do our mats and layers for the tops of these. So again, bringing in your pattern cardstock. You could be a little bit mindful of this, Joe, of where you want your patterns to be, but most of it's going to be covered up, so it really doesn't matter. So I'm just going to trim into this. We're going to take it down that 1/4 inch, so we're going to do it 6 1/2 this time. So, and our 6 1/2 is that way round. So 6 1/2. Just trimming that across, and then we're going to trim this to 4 1/2. 4 1/2 there, and then another 4 1/2. So that gives us 2 pieces, and then this one we're going to trim to, let me do it this way, 6. Yeah, we're only going to get 3 pieces, aren't we, out of 2 pieces? Yeah, I was thinking I was doing that wrong then. So 6 1/2. Actually, I'm going to have this one, just thinking I like the bottom. This is more pinker at the bottom here. So we're going to do 6 1/2 and then trim that in at 4 1/2. So with your 2 pages, you're going to get 3 pieces out of each of these. So again,
Eleanor says, I absolutely love that paper. It really is gorgeous, isn't it?
it's amazing,
really
isn't
beautiful,
it? Yeah,
beautiful
absolutely
design.
amazing. I've never really, you know what, Jo, I've never put paper pads next to each other. Like, I've never took pages out of one and put them with pages of another one. So I don't actually know how I would feel about about because I'm just looking at this thinking, I just adore this. But when I was looking at the hummingbirds the other day, I was thinking how much I adored that.
Yeah.
I wonder if I put two together and flick through which one I would prefer.
Oh, it's hard to say.
That's what I mean. Yeah, that would
It's
be
like picking your favourite child.
yeah, that would be a really hard decision, wouldn't it, to sort of put both together. And then 4.5 inches. There we go. So that gives us our 6 pieces. So let's pop our guillotine away. And you can keep these if you've got a bit box. So my small bits like this now, I tend to generally not keep anymore, Joe, which is a bit naughty, but they just build up. So I keep bigger bits, but all my sort of little bits, unfortunately, I just build up too many. So I tend to keep bigger bits that I can mat and use as my mats and layers. Right, now what we do want to do, we want to create those mats and layers. So we're going to then pop these on top of each other. Now, some of your pieces, I wonder if I've cut that one right. That doesn't look the same size as the rest. No, that must have been an off piece. Let me take that away and check how many we've got. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, I've obviously not trimmed that one down. And
The
I've
small
just
pieces would
realised.
work great for the sequins in your sequin dies. Absolutely, they would.
Yeah, definitely. I've just realised I've cut 6 and we only wanted 5, didn't we? So apologies there. That one's 6 3/4. Yeah, sorry, I've cut 6 of those, so I've made you cut an extra one out because you only need 5 of them. So, but you'll have a spare, not a problem. Right, let's mat and lay. That's better. Now they look like they work. I thought I had too much of a rim on the bottom there. I'm just going to be using my tape pens. You can use whatever glue you've got in your stash. What we're also going to do with 2 of them, we're going to be die cutting through them. So what I'm doing is putting my piece around, and then I actually want to just go in a few times because I want to make sure that this is stuck onto there when we die cut it out, so you don't get no edges. If I was just to go around the edges, Joe, and then we die cut the middle, they would just fall apart. So just make sure your middle section is sort of stuck in, so when we can die cut that, and you only have to do that on 2. So I'm going to use that for one of them, and I want quite a highly patterned one. There we go, on that one, and pop those together. And then just along.
Any questions that you've got at any point, remember you can drop them into me. Crafters TV over on Facebook, Crafters Companion if you are across on YouTube. Also, if you are crafting along with us, if we do get totally finished before the end, which I think is ambitious, let's go with ambitious. You can send your pictures in. If we don't get finished before the end, then you can send your pictures in between shows, which is always wonderful. I'll give you more details of how you can do that towards the end of the show, but it's always lovely, isn't it, to see what people have managed to create, Debbie.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm putting these 2 pieces, because I've stuck both those pieces in the middle, I'm going to put them into place. And these ones, Joe, because these are just our mat and layers, now all you want to do is one for the front. Don't do the other ones yet, so keep 2 and keep them to the side. Don't put them all together because there's something we need to do with these before we mat and layer them down, okay? So I'm popping them to the side, and then our last one, this one is just going to be for the front of our card. If you wanted to do a coordinating one, you can, but I'm just popping this on, and this will be for the front. So pop in that one into place. Okay, right, and pop that to the side. So let's bring these back in, because what we want to do now, Joe, we want to create that same die cut. So how I like to do it is I like to pop this onto the back, and then what I'm going to do is just make a sort of that white rim around. In fact, I'm going to bring a piece of black card in so you can see it a little bit better what I'm doing. So let's pop that there we go. So when you pop that on, you'll be able to see that you've got a nice white rim all the way around the edges. Once you've done that, get yourself some low-tack tape, and we're just going to place that. I'm going to just take some of the sticky off of this, and just place that across your card at the top there, okay? And then you can turn this over, because what I want to do, I want to create that smaller, bring back in that smaller die that created that aperture, and this time we're going to pop this underneath. Oh, it's come away. That didn't stick very well, did it? I put too much, took too much away. So let's try that again and not take that away. So just check where you want it on your front. So this is where it's going to be on the front, but we want to do it from behind. It will all make sense. So pop that on. And actually, I think the best way, I'm going to just place it across this piece. You're not asking that to stay there, you just want to put that in a place where it's going to stay. Then you want to use this die to go directly underneath. Now all you want to see with this die is a very slight piece of silver. So you can see it will end up being where you can see that silver die. Can you see? So once you've got that all the way round, and it doesn't have to be absolutely perfect, but it's good to get it in a position where it's going to cut directly underneath. Okay, so I'm quite happy with that there. So once we take that away, we can then take that one down. So take that. Just going to make sure that's not shifted tiny little bit. Oh, I've just moved it more than I should have then. Oh, trust me, like, I've moved it about. So
just kind of anything to stop you sticking it and then cutting it from the back? Would it not look nice if you cut it from behind?
So the other thing to do, and I wished I'd done it, but I forgot, Joe, I'm going to be totally honest. If you, I'll show you in a second. Let me just get this in line. That's it, pop that in there. Pop that there, and then I'm just going to take that down. What you can do, Joe, so what you're saying is to put that on, turn your die around and cut it the other side. Is that what you were saying?
Stick it down over the aperture and then cut it from the back, cut it through the aperture from the back.
So what you could do, you could place that on and put your die down. Yes, yeah. You're right. Shall we do that? That's much easier. You've just done it a much easier way. The way I did it before...
You know what they say, Debbie? Give the laziest man the hardest job, you find the easiest way of doing it.
There you go. All good. Right, so let's take this away then. Yes. So what I originally done is put this onto my card, place my die over, and put that there, and then sent it through. It didn't then cut out the bottom piece, it cut out those two pieces, but it meant it left the indentation that I could place it back in and cut it. But I forgot to do that, but you're right, Joe. So if we pop that, so let's do what Joe's saying, because he is right. We're gonna place that back into there and just take that down at the back. So there, and then let's get our Gemini plates out and pop that straight on there. Then all we have to do is the same thing, put your die back into that aperture.
See, sometimes Debbie have a good idea. Not very often, every once in a while.
It's a brilliant idea, Joe. I love that. There you go. And it fits perfectly because that's where it's cut from. And then we can send that through. And that's the other thing about a good craft along, Joe, is other people having eyes on to how you can do it. I did something the other day and someone commented, oh, could you do it this way? And I was like, oh yeah, of course you did. But sometimes the easiest things you just don't think of, do you, at the top of your head? But yeah, that was brilliant. Brilliant thinking, my friend. So let's take that one out. So what that now has done, so even though we've done it the opposite way, I've stuck everything down. Oh, it's not quite cut out there. That might be to the fact that I've used the Gemini and not put that on the plate properly. But it's fine. Don't worry if your tape takes anything off because you'll be covering that up. And we have got our craft knife, so the rest I can just cut through. If not, just send it through again.
Do you know why, Debbie? I think it just caught the outside of your...
Outside of my Gemini, yes.
No, I think it just caught the inside of the aperture by the looks of it. So you've got that little white stringy bit there.
Ah, yes. You could be right there, Joe. But we have got that there, so all I'm going to do is follow that down, pop my knife into there, and then we can just follow that down. And that should just pop out. It's being stubborn. There we go. So now we have our perfect edge to go over the top there. So we're going to stick this down in place. And just in case you don't get it completely central, please don't worry, because we're going to create a frame, and that's the reason I've done a frame, is so you'd have that opportunity to straighten it if you needed to, because a frame can always be used just to straighten off those corners. So just use your tape or your glue, whatever you're using, to go all around those edges, and then we can pop that back on. Which way round now? That looks good. And please let us know if you're still struggling with that, because we can always repeat. We're going to repeat it, in fact, on our other piece, but if you do need a bit of time to catch up, just let us know. Yeah, that was perfect, Jo. There we go. And all I'm going to do is take my scoring tool and really just burnish over the top, because that's going to then just seal and really get that glue into all the fibres of the card. And again, just fold it, because your die cutting would have flattened that out, and that will give us our first piece of our card.
Definitely loads of opportunity there.
Lots of opportunities, Jo. You created the perfect opportunity. Right, so this time we're going to do the same. In fact, I'm going to do my trick with that black card, because you can then see your lines on your card there. Just popping that over the top, creating that frame all the way round. Just making sure I can't see the ends of those. There we go. And then we're just going to tape that one down onto the back.
No questions so far, Debbie, which is an excellent sign.
It is very good. And then we're going to place that one over the top again and do exactly the same. So bring that die back in, and like Jo said, we're just going to connect that with that aperture space, and it should lock in all the way round. And once you've done that, then get some tape, and we can take that down. So making sure that's all locked in there. And just like so. And then onto that side as well. So take both pieces down. That's it. And actually, just because of what happened before, I'm going to pop that onto my bigger plates and send it through onto there, and then we should be fine that time. So I think what I do is send that through. Once that goes through, I'm just going to pause it, so when I know that's cut, and then I'm just going to reverse it, so that just gives it that double cut, so I know that goes through both those pieces. Because we are, although we're still cutting down, we're still asking that die to sort of go inside the aperture part. So just doing that to get that cut. Let's pop them to the side. And that will then cut through our two pieces. So just like so. And then we will take this one off as well. Turn that over. I'm just making sure, so we're this way, aren't we? I'm just making sure I'm getting everything the right way. And don't worry if your tape, like I say, is going anywhere else, because it will, it'll be fine. So taking these off. These pieces you can use, so don't not use these, Jo. So even though it's got the pink on the back, you've still got some really nice mats and layers there with those extras. And then what we're going to do is pop this piece on. So just looking to see which way round. So that goes, yeah, that looks perfect. So that's, the berries are at the top. And then use your tape pen just to go round the edges.
It's a glorious day out there today, Debbie.
I know, and we thought it was going to be really cold, and
beautiful.
actually the sun is...
Well, it is only 13 degrees, but it's very sunny.
Really sunny. I think that's half the battle though, isn't it? I think we've had some warm days, but it's been very windy. So then it doesn't feel very hot, does it?
Oh, it's 18 in Manchester. Yeah, so
Wow.
basically, I mean, not to get too technical, but the wind's coming in off the North Sea today, so the right-hand side of the country where we are, quite cold, but then the other side of the hilly bit in the middle, oh, it's baking hot over there today, but it's not going to be that warm over the weekend, I'm afraid. Oh, it's actually not too bad. It's only going to be 8 degrees here on Monday. You believe that? At the end of April.
And it's going to be 8 degrees.
8 degrees here on Monday, yeah.
Oh, I'm glad I'm not here.
I'll be here.
I wonder what is it in Bedford on Sunday? Can you check for me, please?
On Sunday in Bedford. I feel like Thomas Schaffernacker all of a sudden. Hang on. He's a weatherman in the UK, for those of you across the pond.
Right, we've got our 2 pieces of card now, and then we're just going to do our frame. So you've got that extra piece of card here. You're going to take now your largest nesting die, and I think when I did this, I'm pretty sure I can just about get 2 on. So we're going to create that frame. So I'm going
You
to
say
pop
Sunday
that
or Monday, Debbie?
Sunday.
17 and fairly sunny, but then raining the entirety of the rest of the week next week, I'm afraid.
Oh, so I should be okay then.
You'll be all right, yeah.
I'm going to Woburn Safari Park.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I'm taking.
Make sure you don't get your aerial pulled off, won't you?
Oh yes, yeah. I never thought about that. Yeah, we're going. I've got my granddaughters for the weekend, so I'm very.
I don't have a fancy car, Debbie, and I would be worried about going. Mind you, the amount of knocks that Debbie's had to her car recently, it'll be fine. It needs plenty of work as it is, so you may as well go now before you get your bumps done. Don't feed the zebras, apparently. Not allowed to feed the zebras, apparently. They bite you, apparently.
Because they have the giraffes just roaming as well, don't they?
They put their heads fully in your
Yeah.
car.
Yeah. I can't wait.
I want to go. It sounds cool.
And then we might go. I might be exhausted though, because I think I'm going to take the girls to the jump place with the trampolines. Oh. They're all telling stories. That's why it's gone all quiet. Whose sister-in-law? Your sister-in-law.
What? You have told me this.
No way,
Yeah,
you
yeah,
haven't
sorry.
told me that before, Johnny.
So West Midlands Safari Park, Johnny's sister-in-law is a tiger keeper.
Wow.
And her husband,
Never knew
a
that.
lion keeper. There we go.
Wow, that's cool. Have you not gone to visit the lions or had a day with the lions? Yeah, that must be
Wow.
amazing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they're very
scary.
scary.
I don't know if I'd want to do it.
No, it wouldn't be my cup of tea.
No.
I found it quite. So we went to Port Lympne, which is down in Kent, which is a safari park down in Kent, and the lions are sort of in their enclosure, and there's a big. What splits you from the lions is basically, you know, sometimes they have a window, don't they, Debbie? Like it's a wall with a window in there, the other side of the window. At Port Lympne, it's not. It's all, the whole thing is glass.
Oh, okay.
So it's really scary. Really, really scary.
Yeah, I think animals can be very scary, can't they?
When I was in South Africa and we walked anywhere, I was convinced we were going to get hunted down by a lion. It's snowing in North Dakota, Debbie.
Wow.
There you go. So no matter how bad you think you've got it, yep, it's snowing according to Beth.
I don't know why I'm laughing. I didn't think that was funny. I just think for this time of year, when you hear about snow, it always seems just a little bit
Yeah.
strange.
It's nearly May. It feels like we should be further closer to the summer by now.
That
This is me
looks
on the
like
summer
you're
train.
skiing. That looks like you're skiing.
Does it?
Yeah.
It's really bumpy, this snow.
What's your ideal holiday, Jo?
Ideal holiday?
Yeah. Have you got an ideal holiday?
I don't know. I like Easter, but I also kind of like the late summer bank holiday as well.
No, I meant going on holiday. Have you got an ideal holiday?
I know what you meant. I was just being silly, Debbie. Ideal holiday.
Yeah, I mean, because some people an ideal holiday would just be a beach and relaxing. Some people's would be to explore. Other people's would be skiing.
I quite like holidays where you have the best of both. So cities that also have beaches, or night out holidays that also have beaches. So I would say probably like Barcelona. You know, you have the beach, you've got the city, you've got the best of both.
Okay.
But yeah, more city than beach, I think.
Oh, okay. Yeah, see,
What about you?
I think mine's definitely beach.
Is it?
Yeah. I just feel life is so hectic and I just want a beach, a bar, a swimming pool, just
Yeah,
a
I
sun
get bored is my
lounger.
problem.
Well, I've not had one in 22 years, Johnny, so I'm going to find out this year. I've
we could go to Redcar.
I've been to the beach lots. Like I do have lots of beach time, but actually holidaying abroad, I haven't had a holiday
Next
abroad.
time me and Charlotte go to
years.
see him, you can come for the day. No, not see him. Was it Redcar we went to?
we went to-
Saltburn. That's it.
I've
Saltburn.
been to Seaham.
Seaham's lovely.
Yeah, it's beautiful. We
We're
went-
very lucky to have lots of beautiful beaches in this part of the world, especially up the Northumberland coast.
Well, we do down in my part of the world. So in Norfolk, there's loads of, but the Norfolk
Yeah,
coast
lovely
is
beaches.
beautiful. So yeah, no, always go on beaches, but I'm talking about day after day, just having a holiday in the sun. Although I do
Yeah.
love exploring, love learning, and I love historical things. So I like learning about history.
My idea of like relaxing on holiday would be like relaxing in a piazza or a square with a nice cold glass of wine, watching the people go by.
Oh, I'm such a people watcher. I like making up stories about people.
Do you? I do that sometimes. And as they're talking to each other, I just pretend that I think I make up like
What they're
something else.
saying.
Yeah, not
Yeah,
what they're saying.
yeah.
I just make my own version up. It's
Oh,
much
yeah.
more interesting.
I
most of
love
the
it.
time.
Yeah, I love it. Gone over a little bit on that one, but never mind. We're just going to take that a little bit off before we burnish that down, push it down. So all we're doing is strengthening this inner part. Again, using that burnish tool to go down. But tell us what your ideal holidays are. That would be good. Right, there we go. So we've got our two pieces then, Joe, and all we're going to do now is we're going to stick these two pieces together.
Okey-doke.
So one on one, and then I think we'll stop there and let everyone have a sort of catch up with theirs, and then we'll carry on. So I'm just again using my tape pen straight down the centre of there. I'm putting a few strips on because I want to make sure that we do have plenty of glue on there. Make sure you don't go over your line. So when you put it down, just make sure that it folds. So fold it and then fold it together. And that way you'll just know that you'll get that perfect fold. And you can see where we've put our apertures, nesting dies, we're getting that perfect line on there. Then I'm going to turn that over and just make sure that everything is burnished down. Because we're having something going inside there and we want those two pieces to stay together. And that's it, that's our first piece done, Joe. So that wasn't too bad at all, was it? Just
Really
like so.
cool.
And all we need to do is bend it the opposite way. So I'm going to bring that in, score that, because that's going to be our valley fold in the centre, and then these two will be the opposite way. Oh no, I've done that wrong. We did have it the right way. I was thinking I had that the wrong way. Sorry. The middle piece will be your mountain fold. So that's how it should look.
Amazing,
Okay.
absolutely cool. Someone just said, what's that black mat on your desk? It's just a piece of black cardstock, isn't it, Debbie?
Yes, it is. So when I was doing my mats and layers, it was easy for you to see where they were layering
Perfect.
to. So that's all it was for, a piece of black cardstock.
Thea's going to Crete for 3 weeks in September. I wonder what part of September, because Thea lives in the Netherlands and I'm going to Amsterdam for a few days in October. So if it crosses over, Thea, I'll pop round to yours, stay at yours whilst you're out sunning yourself. Let me just go back through this. I want you to share with you the 12 by 12. Very busy. It is available as part of that paper and card bundle, but it's really busy on its own actually. A lot of you choosing to go for this. If you want to go for this, it's £16.99. Or £19.95 if you want to get that on its own. You can see that just there. We also have the 6x6 version of this as well. It's exactly the same, it's just shrunk down in size, and those images are resized as well. That's £5.99 or £9.95. And we've got the vellums. You get 24 of them in here. Let me just go take you through these. These are really cool. And again, really lovely. I love the clarity of the print on the vellums that we bring to you. Sometimes I think imagery on vellums can be a little bit washed out. These are really awesome. So there is that. Let me just grab as well. I want to just quickly remind you of that launch day from yesterday. I know we featured it this morning. It's incredibly busy still over on the website. A lot of you still going for this. Remember, there's a full, almost 30% gone here. Remember, there is a full 2-hour launch day from yesterday, which you can watch back any time you like. There is also a craft along coming up on the 31st of May on these with Debbie and Ben as well. So make sure you mark that in your calendar. So you've got the flower, and you've got the butterfly, the perfume bottle, and you've also got the jar in there too. Now, if you're going for those, you're definitely going to want to go for these as well. Very busy for these on their own. They are the sequin dies, and they allow you to cut sequin shapes, and they've got the little sort of impressions in them as well. So you can make it out of anything you like. You'll get the round one, you'll get the stars, and you'll get the hearts in there as well. So make sure you're popping those also into your basket. Right, should we just quickly whiz across to Lisa? She looks very calm and controlled. Lisa, where exactly are you for anyone that hasn't met you before?
I'm in Dereham in Norfolk.
Ah, amazing. That's Debbie's old stomping ground, isn't it?
Yeah, I was in Thetford.
Thetford, there you go. Just
Oh, yes, I know Thetford.
How did you find that first section then, Lisa?
Yeah, good.
Oh, excellent. Well, it looks perfect, Debbie, doesn't it?
It does.
Oh,
Amazing.
I love when we can see you through it. Okie doke then, Lisa. I'm going to let you get yourself ready for the next section. Any questions anyone's got, you can get them into me. Crafters TV over on Facebook, Crafters Companion if you're across on
It
YouTube.
looks sunny in Norfolk there,
Very
doesn't it?
sunny.
Lisa's house, yes.
Sunny Honey. Oh, there's a place called Hunstanton, and we used to call it Sunny Honey. You right, Debbie?
Did you not hear that noise?
No. What noise?
You did. You must have done.
What noise?
It was like.
Oh,
is it a
Liam
drill?
drilling.
Ah.
He's a right old handy man.
Okay, are we ready to get back on it? Right, so we need now a white piece of cardstock, and we're going to trim this one. We're going to keep, it's an A4 inside, so I think is it 11 3/4 or 11 1/4, just for our American view, 11 3/4. So we're going to keep the length of our A4 cardstock, and we're going to trim this to 4 inches. So popping that in at 4 inches. Just like so, okay. And then we're going to bring our scoreboard in. So let's disregard that piece of card. And on your scoreboard, again, now I'm using my Score Master, so it's the smallest of our boards. We're going to come in at 1/2 inch, so scoring down. And then 2 inches. I always like to score it a couple of times just to stretch the fibres in our cardstock. And then we're going to do 5 7/8 of an inch. So it's just the one from the one under the 6 inches. So 5 7/8 of an inch, okay? I'll just repeat that. We've trimmed our A4 cardstock down to 4 inches, scored in at 1/2 inch, at 2 inches, and 5 7/8 of an inch. And then we're going to rotate our card, and we're going to score in again at 1/2 inch, and then we're going to score at 2 inches. There's lots of noises going on. So you've got an identical, so we've got our mid-centre point here, which we're going to use as our mounting fold. So fold that over and burnish that middle section. And then we're going to fold these ones back. So this one back on itself. And all the time, just make sure that your sides go side to side. So if it's a little bit out, that could be to do with cutting it in a straight line. And then we're going to do the same, turn it over and do on the opposite side. So just making sure you burnish that down. And then these side tabs are going to fold over, but I always like to fold over with my biggest piece of card. It stops it warping. So that's that one, and then this other one, we're going to turn that over. So we're literally doing a mountain, valley, and then that creates this section here. Oh, I've done that the wrong way, look. Let's just fold that down. So mountain, on that little rim, mountain, valley, mountain, valley, mountain, okay? So this is the shape that you should end up with, okay? So that's your midsection of your card. So if I bring this back in then, what's gonna happen is this section, let me just double check, so I've done it, so turn it over, there we go, turn it over. So sorry, this bit goes downwards, that's gonna thread through your cardstock, okay? So nice, and see how easy it is, Joe? To pop in there. Now this is the bit that gets just that little bit more trickier, because what we want to do, we want to attach these pieces of card onto our cardstock first. So let's take that away, and then we're going to stick just our solid colours, solid cardstock to that side. So let's pop that down.
Kirsty D says, my ideal holiday is Egypt, exploring and visiting all the monuments, ruins and temples. My second ideal holiday is a forbidden city in China.
Oh.
Funny, isn't it, how certain places like appeal to you and certain places don't? I would say Egypt and China are two places that like just don't appeal to me.
See, I think we are going to do Japan. I would love
I'd
to go
love
to
to
Japan.
go to Japan.
Mm-hmm.
I would really love to go.
That's more because it's not. I would love to do it, but it's not one of the things that I would say is on my bucket list. But it was my mum's, and she never got to do it, so I'd like to do it for her. Yeah.
Have you watched Joanna Lumley's programme where she goes through the
No,
whole of
I
Japan
haven't.
from top to bottom?
No.
You should watch it. It's
Oh,
on. I think
okay.
it's probably on ITV Player. I think it was on ITV. Joanna Lumley's Japan. It is incredible. It really, really is.
Right, now what we're going to do, Joe, is bring in these two pieces of cardstock. So we only need one piece to start with, and we're going to pop this onto here. Now, what we do want to do, we want to grab a pencil, and we've got our ruler, because now we want to make a slit. So this is the way of hiding all your markings, and the best way I found to do it. So we're going to pop this underneath. And what we want to do, so again, bring in some tape to hold this down, because it will make it a lot easier to line that up so you know exactly where that piece of card's going. You just want that nice edge all the way around. I'm just going to bring in some tape just to hold that down at the sides. Just straighten that piece up, just like so. And then what we want, when you turn this over, so let's bring this over, what we want is to find that place where this piece, so this piece here at the side folds flat, that piece is in the middle. Can you see it's catching on this side piece? You need it higher so it goes through. So we want that to go more or less to our edge. So can you see I'm taking that, if I put it like that, that's probably the easiest way to do it actually. Let's do it this way. Pop that to the edge, and then that way, Joe, all we want to do, we want to take our pencil, and it's hard to show on camera, so I'm going to tip this up, but you'll be able to see the bottom of your card. So let me bring this up like that. So this piece here, I want to go into that card. I'm going to draw a line just on there, and then I'm going to turn it round onto the opposite side. You want to draw a line on this end piece.
Could you use the top bit of card as your mark? Just fold the top bit of card back down?
So you could, so if you wanted to, yeah, so what you're saying is that hold that piece there, and then you can bring that down.
I mean, no, just keep the whole, if you just close the whole thing up.
I'm not sure what you mean. Come
I'm gonna
over
pop
and
over
show
and show
me.
you. What I mean
I've put
is,
my marks on, so
if
can you
you
see
just
I've got
hold
a
it-
pencil line.
If you just hold it like that, then you can just mark it there and there.
See, you've got
See
the
what I mean?
brains today.
No,
haven't you?
I think it's just one of those. I mean, we all just. I think the difference is, Debbie, you just all
See it
you
from
all
a
do
different
things.
perspective.
You all do things how you find it easiest, don't you? And so as long as you get the right result, I mean, you do whatever comes
Yeah, so
naturally.
rather doing than how I was saying it, which was, I don't know how you've done it now. Oh, that way, just turn it. Oh, I see, yeah, just,
So you just mark it there.
yeah. Is it the same?
Yeah, because they're in the same place, aren't they?
So was I doing it that way? Oh yeah, I was. Oh my goodness, Joe, I'm being a complete idiot. Yeah, yeah, you're right. So just mark it at the top bit there and the bottom bit there. I I had to then still work that out in my head. So once you've got those markings, we're going to take that piece away. See, you're just amazing, Jo. Showing how amazing you are.
Thanks. This makes up for all the insults you've thrown at me over the last week or so, doesn't it?
Not purposeful insults. Then all we're going to do is take our line and bring in our ruler and our craft knife. Line your piece up, and then where those at the end of those lines are, which are about there actually, we're going to cut our line down. So we're putting a slit. Just go a tiny little bit over that line because you want to make enough room for your card to go through. And I'm just doing it a couple of times to make sure we've got that slit in, and that creates that slit inside your card, okay? So when that comes to popping that down, before you put that down, we're actually going to put that piece inside that slit. So popping that in there onto that edge, can you see? So that creates that hidden part.
Clever, isn't it?
Yeah, very clever. So you can't see that at all, and yet then that will go, do you know what I didn't do, Jo? I'm just done that without realising. You have to do it so it fits through the hole. So it doesn't matter, we just make that a little bit bigger. I thought that was a little bit high. I'm going to go a little bit further down. It doesn't matter because you're going to glue it down, so don't worry about it not being in that right place. Let's just put a slit just going down a little bit more. That's better. And then that way, so what I should have said is make sure this is lined up to the midsection of your opening. So I went a little bit higher than we needed to go. And then all we're going to do is we're going to attach this piece to the underside of our card. So poke that through. And then what we're going to do is, firstly, put a piece of tape down here. You can put red liner tape. I'm just using my my tape pen. So once you've done that, we can then pop that into place. Oh, move it down a little bit. And all I'm going to do is, before I stick it down, I want to make sure I've sort of got that where we need it there. So into there, a little bit higher, that's it. So from that piece, right in the centre, and then we're just going to pop that down. There we go. So just give that a rub down, and then that way that will then fold into that section. And I'm just going to burnish that down so we know that will fold. Okay, so that gives us our first piece. We can then fold that down, Jo, so we can stick that into place. So using your tape pens, just make sure that you put that all the way around.
Gilmore says, Debbie's insulting Jo. Is the TV marriage still on? I say yes, just waiting for Jo to pounce back.
Oh, we're never,
I
we're
don't
never
look.
end.
You know, I would never, Gilmore. I'm just too kind.
We have a good relationship, don't we, Jo?
Yeah, it's a love-hate relationship, isn't it? You love me, I hate you. I'm only joking.
With a little bit of truthfulness, I know.
No, absolutely not.
There's no hate. We don't even have hate in the building, do we?
Sorry?
I don't know anyone that hates anybody. We're quite lucky. Johnny loves everybody, yeah. I love everybody. Right, so that's our first part done. Then we're going to thread this through and into this part. That will then fold over. And then this one, Jo, we're going to do exactly the same. Fold that one over. Oh, we can't do it. I should have done the other side first because that won't work this time, Jo. So let's fold that over. That's it, we just need to fold that so that comes up like so. So pop our piece of cardstock on. Let's pop that on underneath. So this time's a little bit more trickier because it is a case, and you'll probably find I'm probably not looking at a quite a simplistic way, but I'm going to do it to that end again of that card, which is what we did before, I believe, just to make sure that folds. And then I can see the base of this one. So let's pop that on. to there. And then I'm just looking overhead because I can't see. Let me just move that. Oh, we've moved our card there, Joe. Look, that's silly. Let's pop that back there. And then I'm going to lift that up and just see that that's where that one goes. And I just want to make sure, yeah, that closes. Okay. And then we'll do our slit again. So cutting that slit across. They look a bit out, so I think I must have moved my cardstock. Just making sure I've got a straight line there.
I guess you've got a slight bit of wiggle room, haven't you, Debbie, when it comes to where you place that tab?
Absolutely, yeah, absolutely. And even if you have to just do it a little bit extra, like cut a bigger, deeper slit out, Joe, it's not going to harm it, and you won't see it. You could always put another strip of card there, so there's always a way around it. So we can pop that one in now. And all I want to do is I'm going to bring it to my other piece because that's exactly the same. So you can see that goes down. What we'll do is bring that out, put our piece of tape onto there, just so that holds into place. And then when you pop this one down, and I'm just checking all the time, folding it, yeah, that's perfect. So then we can stick this one in place. But what I would suggest now is I am going to bring, oh, there isn't none there, oh, some tacky glue. I'm going to put this one in with some tacky glue because it gives me a little bit more wiggle room. Where if you stick it straight down and it doesn't go straight, you've not got that wiggle room.
Have you picked this paper because it matches your nails perfectly? That's what Gilma was asking.
No, I haven't actually. It's a bit of a different pink, but I am a bit of a pink girl anyway. I love pink. Isn't it strange though, because I don't think I could have pink at home.
Is that pink at home?
No, I couldn't have like pink decor.
Oh no.
Yeah, so it's just a colour I think I would go off as home decor. So, right, so we're going to pop that in. Now, while that's still in place, I'm going to bend that down, and actually that's perfect. So that gives me enough time then to pop that all down. There we go. So popping that into place, so that gives us our midsection. And there you go, that is, if I turn that round so you can see it, that's exactly how you would do that, that card.
How fabulous.
So we've got the concept there, so we've got all that done. I'll let everybody just catch up with fiddling with their little pieces, because it is the most fiddly little piece. But once you put it into place, it really works beautifully.
Yeah, it does indeed. We're going to take a really short break, give you an opportunity to get yourself caught up, and then we'll crack on with the next section on the other side of this.
Welcome to Club Inspire, the crafters companion community where you can feed your crafty obsession. Join our fantastic loyalty club today and receive 20% of your first order. We'll also give you 250 points to help get you started. Other benefits of joining Club Inspire include exclusive special offers and discounts for Club Inspire members only, exclusive sneak peek previews of brand new product launches, and of course the Club Inspire community group on Facebook, where you can access exclusive content such as downloads, offers and inspiration, and of course you can chat and share your makes with other members. You'll receive 1 point for every £1, dollar or euro you spend, and the more points you receive, the more benefits you'll unlock. So what are you waiting for? Sign up, join the club and start rewarding yourself today.
Quick Buy, all your crafting must-haves in a flash. Draw, decorate, and customize your world with the colorful Spectrum Noir acrylic paint markers. Each premium paint marker gives opaque coverage on ceramic, glass, wood, and let's not forget paper, cardstock, and canvas. These versatile markers are filled with highly pigmented premium water-based paint, offering beautiful, rich, and smooth coverage. The colors can be blended together, and the fast-drying opaque paint is ideal for layering. A 3mm bullet tip offers smooth strokes, and a precision valve mechanism allows rich and consistent flow with no clogging. Quick Buy, All your crafting must-haves in a flash.
We've had to make some changes to our shipping charges and we want to keep you informed. With continued pressure on domestic shipments around mainland US, we've had to temporarily increase the cost of our regular 6 to 10 working day standard shipping service from $9.99 to $12.95 and our free shipping threshold from $100 to $125. We also have some really great news to tell you. We've introduced a brand new shipping service called Express Delivery. This is a fully tracked door-to-door service which takes 3 to 7 working days and costs $19.95. This option means you'll get your crafty goodies in your hands sooner, meaning less waiting and more crafting. We're also upgrading delivery services for our Gold and Platinum Club Inspire members who will now receive priority delivery on all of their orders. And if that wasn't enough, we've upgraded these orders to our new Express 3 to 7 day service. Your patience and understanding throughout this very busy time has been amazing. So we'd just like to say a huge thank you and we look forward to chatting to you again very soon.
Amazing. Lots of you crafting away. Very, very busy. Sandra says, Joe, can Debbie please repeat the measurement on the score points for the centre panel? That centre panel, the measurement, the length, size of that centre panel.
Oh yes, definitely.
And the score points.
Yes. So I can do it again. Let's redo it, and then you'll know exactly what it was. You've got a. Let me bring this in. You've got an A4 piece of cardstock. If you are in the US, our cardstock, our A4 cardstock, is 11 3/4 of an inch. You want to trim that to 4 inches. So once you've done your 4 inches, you then want to use your half-inch score, so half-inch, all fingers and thumbs there, half-inch, then 2 inches, then 5 7/8 of an inch, so that's 1 increment before the 6, so 5 7/8 of an inch, half, 2, 5 7/8 of an inch, rotate your card and do that half and 2 again. And that creates that middle section. So that folds down, and then those 2 pieces, that's what you're left with, that piece there. Okay, so hopefully that helps, and that's the piece that goes through that centre point. Okay?
Excellent.
Lovely job.
There
Right,
we are.
Joe. Now we want to do some stamping. So let's pop my scoreboard away and just get my guillotine out just to trim a piece of cardstock off. So you can use Nina cardstock for this, or just your white multi-purpose cardstock. So I'm just going to trim a piece of card off, and then I'm going to bring my stamping platform in. Because what we want to do, we want to bring in the sign, the hanging sign and vines. All we're going to use on here is the middle die, so this one here, and also the stamp that comes with it. So we want to stamp this out first. So we're going to give this a stamp, but also I want to stamp a sentiment. So let's pop them to the side. I'm going to use this one. Let's pop that onto the board, just like so. And then what I'm going to do is bring in the stamp set as well. So this one, let's just pop down here because we're going to cut this one out so we can just stamp it here. And then I want to do a verse stamp. I'm actually just going to stamp into the middle of this piece of... actually, let's do that bit after, but what we are going to do, keep these stamps out. Let's just stamp this one into place, because once we've stamped it, we then want to put our words into the position there. So just pick that up, and then all I'm using, so you can use any of your alcohol ink. So, well, I'm using alcohol proof. You can use waterproof. It doesn't matter. Oh no, you do. We're colouring it, so you need your alcohol proof. I'm using Flagstone. I think we might have used Pebble on the main one, but it doesn't matter. Anyone is going to stamp it out. So just give that a light tap in over the top. I like to just turn it around. And what this is going to do, this is going to create your post, your hanging signs, just like so. So stamps really well, this one, Joe. So let's take those out, and we're going to, I'm just going to see, because we might as well trim our cardstock while we're here, but I'm not sure if I wrote the measurements down. trim, oh yes I did, 2 3/4 by 2 3/4. So this piece here, let's just pop that bit. I'm just going to trim that down, just while we've got our white cardstock here, and then we can do all our stamping at once. So I'm going to trim that down to 2 3/4 by 2 3/4. So that gives us our little stamp sentiment for the inside. So we can do both at a time. What I am going to do is trim this down as well, and then we can do all our stamping at once. So pop that. That's the one thing I love about the stamping platform, Joe. If you don't have a stamping platform, just do them separately. It's absolutely fine. So I'm going to pop that into the space. Let's, in fact, we'll put them quite near to each other. They can just go like so, like that. Right, now what we're going to do, I'm going to pop that one back on onto there, so I don't lose the stamp. There we go.
Patty says, what a fun concept card. Really can't wait to see it finish. Pammy says, I'm loving this. We'll be making it later. Gilmore says, Debbie, this is a fabulous card. I've saved this show.
Oh, lovely. Right, so you just choose now, Joe, what you want. So you could have your live, love and grow. We're going to put on here, enjoy the little things, what we've got here. So let's have enjoy on that one. Then we've got the little, and then, did I do, yeah, little things, there we go. So we're just going to pop that into our section. Just across, they all fit right in those spaces. And then also I want to do a sentiment, so just choose any of the sentiments that you've got on there. You've got, you mean the world to me. I've used on my card, can't really read that on there because of the stamp. It says happiness is time spent with good friends. So yeah, let's stick with that one. If friends were flowers, I'd pick you. Let's use that one actually, because that's a nice sentiment. Use just a different one so we can show a slightly different one to the ones that we use. So. Pop that in the middle, and then we can stamp all of those in one go. So again, bringing those back, stamping that out. You can always turn, because I always like to turn, because I always think you've got a different amount of pressure when you rotate, and then press those down. And then just stamp those in. And just in case it's missed any, they all look cool. I might just go over that one a bit just to add another extra piece of ink across the top. Make sure it's settled, and then press down into the centre again. There we go, that's better. And then we've got our sentiments done. So those ones for the middle, pop them to the side. I am just going to pop these back on my sheet. So it's just a case, Joe, of just deciding which stamps you want to use. You might even have some different ones that you've got in your stash at home that will fit in there. And then popping them all on. I'm such a tidy crafter, aren't I?
You're so tidy, Debbie. At least you profess to be when you're here, so I don't know if it means when you go home you're not tidy at all.
Oh no, I am.
Or are you a model crafter at home also?
Yeah, no, I am. I get messy while I'm doing it, but I clear up as I go along.
Right.
Yeah, and nothing by the end of the day. It's all cleared away, gone. Right, so let's pop that to the side. And then we're going to bring in our pen. So let's cut it out first. Let's do the die cutting. I love these ones because you can see exactly where you're going with them. This sees the entire image all the way through, so you can see all your lines and you can make sure you've got that even on both sides, and then pop that on, and then we can run that through just like so, and then push that through, and there we go. So nice and easy. And then we're going to do a bit of colouring before we then get on. We've got time to do our foam flowers, which is fabulous.
Look at you.
I know. Planned it well. So take that one away, pop that in the bin. So we've got our 2 pieces here. With this one, I'm just going to use our pink tulip, and we're just going to add a little bit of pink just to tie in really with it, Jo. So because we've got those beautiful pink papers, so I'm just using our ink pad to go around the edges so it doesn't look too bare. I mean, there's lots I could have done with this collection, Jo, because I really wanted to use all those pots that are in there. Decorating this, you could really go to town. So you could do a lot more than what I've actually done, but it works, whatever you put on there. And I'm going to do the same with this. I'm just going to tie, just so it doesn't look so stark white. Just putting that in, and I'm even going to come in the midsection just so we've got that bit of pink going on there. A little bit of ink can make a massive difference on your projects. And then all I'm going to use, I've got my tan blend of my Tri-Blend brush pens, and this is a nice easy project. By bringing a piece of card, it's quite easy to paint some wood. First of all, we're just going to go in with our lightest colour. And I must realise not to go too quickly, but just lay down that lightest colour, and then we're going to do our flicking technique. So coming in from the sides, just hold your cardstock and just do those flicks. And then while we're on this, still the same side, we're going to come in and just put a little bit of our darker colour. Not loads, just a little bit coming in from that side. And then I'm just going to put a tiny bit across the top and the bottom. You don't want too much dark because it's the dark that's going to wash away your sentiment, and you don't want that to happen. So just come in by blending that over the top, and then turn that round, and we're going to do the same on the opposite side. So coming in with the mid colour. Doesn't even matter if you go over the edges a little bit like I just did. Going to all time in.
It really does make it look like wood, doesn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Old wood.
And then we're going to colour that midsection in just to lighten it down, and we're going to do that with all 3 of these. So keeping it nice and simple. Just the brush
There's
ones
absolutely
are lovely.
0 questions in the comments, Debbie.
They're all just
Which
quiet.
is brilliant. You're obviously an exemplary teacher.
Is there anybody there? Let's go the other side.
Will you be taking any crafts on holiday with you, Debbie?
No. I sometimes I would, but I'm going to be honest with you, Jo. It's the first holiday abroad I've had in a lot of years.
Is this your first holiday? Like, is it your first beach holiday in how many years?
22 years.
Wowzers, trousers.
Yeah. And I just want I've got some books I've downloaded to listen to. Yeah, and I just want to go and relax. It's all inclusive.
Oh, I hope you're taking the elasticated trousers.
Well, I've been trying to lose weight before I go, but just so it doesn't matter to put a bit on, but I don't think that's going to happen.
It doesn't matter. I mean, I think, what's the point in losing weight before you're going to put weight on? You may as well just deal with it all at the same time.
Well, there is that way of looking.
Do you know what I mean? I just think, why go through the agony of losing weight twice? You may as well just wait until the end and then just do it all at once.
Yeah, that's quite true. I think, well, the way it's going, that is how it's going to happen, I think. Yeah, so as much as I do find crafting relaxing, it's also because I do it day in, day out, and it is my job, and as much as I love it, I want to just have some downtime.
You wait, you'll be sat by the pool doing a bit of macrame, I can see it now.
Well,
There'll be activities on holiday, one of them will be crafting, you'll be there giving
Well,
the
I
class.
have to be honest, I'm saying that I'm not. I did think to myself that I could take some colouring with me, because I don't get the time to colour, and I love colouring, and I feel like I'm losing my ability to colour like I used to.
When I flew to Australia, I got quite a lot of crochet done on the way there and on the way back.
Yeah, so, and it's a 6-hour flight, and because it's 6 hours, we don't get TVs on board, apparently. So I'm thinking I might take some colouring.
Colouring?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
We've got
So that went from no crafting, definitely not to, oh, I might take my colouring with me.
Yeah, because I hadn't really thought about that side of crafting, and I do think I could possibly, do a bit of
The
colouring.
thing with the TVs, is it the back, is it the ones in the back of the seat or the ones on the aisle? Because the ones on the aisle, useless.
Oh, okay. I just realised, Joe, I haven't done any of the bits inside. Dearie me. Right, we need to do our mats and layers. So it's a good job I kept these papers. So let's bring in these pieces here, and then we're going to trim. So we're going to do 2 pieces of the pink cardstock to 3 3/4 by 1 1/4.
Where are we creating mats and layers for here, Debbie?
For our white spaces in the middle.
For
These
all of the
pieces
white
here.
elements, okay.
Yes, all the white spaces. So we're going to do our 2 bigger spaces, and I think we can get away with using these pieces. So let's bring that in. Yeah, I'd not thought about that, and that's really cheered me up, actually. I think I am going to take some colouring, absolutely.
Do.
I'm just going to cut, let's do one at a time. I'm just going to cut the stitched edge off. Yeah, we've got some new stamps coming out, which we're launching, and so I think I might take them and have a practice with them. So what did I say? 3, oh, look at that, 3 3/4. Oh, it's 3 1/2, not going to work. Is that one? Let's go that way. There we go, we're all right, Joe.
Don't forget to take lots of photos. Holiday vacation pictures are so fun to make a scrapbook out of, says Pam.
That's true, yes, absolutely. By 3 1/2.
Enjoying watching Debbie colouring this. I have it, and this is helpful on how to get the wood look. Absolutely, Deborah.
Definitely. So I'm just trimming those stitched edges off first, and then we're going in at 3 3/4 by 3 1/2.
Patty Redmond's taking her tangling to Disney with her next week.
Now that's a good idea. Yeah, that's a really good idea. So I'm just checking we've got the right, yep, there we go. So that's our mat I'm showing, there we go. If I bring that in, that's your mat and layer for that one, and that one is for that one. And then we're going to bring these pieces in, and we're going to trim these to 3 1/2 by 3 1/4. So let's do 3 1/2 by, did I say? No, sorry, that's completely wrong. By 1 inch, so 3 3/4. Did I do 3 1/2? Yes, so let's get rid of that one. I've got all these measurements wrote down, that's why, Joe. By 1 1/4. So 1 1/4. So trim that one. And that needs to be 3 3/4. 3 3/4. Might have to dig my bits out the bin, look. Good job I didn't throw them away completely. So this one would be 3 3/4 by 1 1/4. 1 1/4. So those pieces will be on our ends here. So just on those end pieces. So we've got those 2 pieces. So that's our mats and layers, and then we're going to bring our pattern cardstock. So for our 2 main layers, we're going to go to 3 1/2 by 3 1/4. So 3 1/2 by 3 1/4, and then 3 1/2 by 3 1/4. And then we're going to do those pieces, which we did, the smaller pieces are 3 1/4. So there we go, 3 1/4, and this time we're going to do these 1 inch. 1 inch there. So that's onto there, just making sure, yep, we've got those pieces. And then 1 more, so that should be the 3 1/4. Oh, we'll trim that to, did I just, yep, 3 1/4 by 1 inch. That's good, that gives us our pieces there. Right, so let's bring them back in. Let's get rid of all these little pieces. And then we can stick all these pieces together. So we've got
How
our
fabulous.
4
Don't forget what's happening
pieces.
for the rest of the day here as well on Crafters TV. There is a Creative Cravings coming away this evening at 6 p.m. That is 1 o'clock on the East Coast and 10 a.m. over on the West Coast. I'll also give you a heads up on what's happening tomorrow, because I know it's a really, really exciting day here tomorrow on Crafters TV. Craig is going to be here, and he's going to be here with Michelle. He'll have Wake Up Call with you, of course, 11 a.m, 6 a.m. And then there's a launch day tomorrow. Oh, Debbie, you know what it is tomorrow, don't you?
I have no idea.
It's those
Oh,
wheelie
the
cards.
reveal.
The reveal wheel cards.
Oh, wow.
That's going to be a really good show, I'm reckoning.
I think it really will be.
Really, really excited
will
for that.
be.
Oh yeah, reveal the wheel. That'll sound odd, Craig saying that. I love it. I'm going to tune in just that alone. And then Cartload as well tomorrow. Is it Craig and Michelle all day tomorrow? Craig and Lily for Cartload tomorrow evening. So make sure you join them both for that. I know that Lily's super excited for that show. It's going to be a fun day. And then Ben will be back with you on Friday with Michelle for Wake Up Call. And Santangle as well, of course. They'll be here all day. And then Becky Swan, Queen of the Swaff Crafts, she'll be back as well. Swaffed, Queen of the Swaff Crafts. Swaff Crafts. She will be fuming that her chicken didn't win. Debbie, of course, pipped her to the post. I think it was me influencing everyone to vote for Debbie that did it.
Joe,
The opposite, that is true. And then, of course, there will be Friday night. There's a... I'm building suspense. It's a masterclass on fancy folds. Oh, who's that with? With Michelle.
that was originally my show, and then they switched them about. I don't know why. Yeah,
Do you love a fancy fold?
that's what we're doing now, Joe.
Oh.
Doing a fancy fold.
Totally Tiffany Takeover coming your way on Saturday night as well, 6 p.m, 1 p.m. So make sure you come and join Ben and Tiffany for that. And also, 3 p.m. on Saturday, there's a Masculine Projects
Oh, who's doing that?
with Ben and Jam. Masculine
Oh.
Projects. I like the way that they've waited till that's not on my shift to put that in, that one. Yeah.
Why, would you like feminine projects on yours then, Joe?
Sorry?
Would you like some feminine projects?
I just think that we could just do neutral projects. How about that? I
Neutral.
think everyone can
Like a
have a
bit
bit
of
of everything in their
neutral.
life.
Absolutely. Right, so then we're going to find some foam pads. So let's pop this onto some foam pads here. Just on there. I haven't seen Jam for ages. And then let's put a couple on. Oh, got 2 stuck on my finger there. So let's pop them into place. Now you could use some ribbon to put these on, Joe, so it looks like it's sort of hanging, but we're just going to have it in our the middle of our die cuts. So that will just go onto here. You can have it swinging, so it looks like it's sort of swinging, or you can just pop it on the top there. There we go. Pop that into place. And then we're just going to use this one to go in the centre here as well. How are we doing for time?
Jennifer's very
Not too
excited for
bad.
all the upcoming shows.
Yeah, it's nice, isn't it, when you have some differences. I think Fancy Folds is a good show to have, just to show, and sometimes it might just be a case of going back to a few basic folds. So Michelle might be showing you on the boards.
Is there a dolphin in the gallery?
Sorry?
I thought there was a dolphin in the gallery for a moment.
Dolphin.
Oh, it's a hiccup. Charlotte's got the hiccups, bless her.
Right, so we're going to pop that there. So shall we, I tell you what, Joe, let's do our die cutting and then we'll do our, last thing we'll do is our foam flowers.
Okay.
So we can get them in. Let's do our, have I got that? Oh, there it is. So we're going to be using, so this is to decorate the front. So once this is all done, you can close that up. You've got your piece from earlier, so the piece we did from one of the first pieces that we did. We can now put this onto the front of our card. Just fold that in. So we can pop that now onto the front. So I've kept it really simple because we've got quite a sort of dramatic inside of our card. This one's lovely just to have, well, I say not too much on the front. The actual roses, the flowers look amazing. So we're going to cut these ones out. And all I'm going to use is, oh, there we go. We're going to use the big section and the smaller one. So bring in some of the scrap that you had here. So we're just going to use that to cut out just a little bit on there. So let's just have that section. You're not going to see a lot of it because we are going to, in fact, I think I might put some darker, yeah, let's have a darker piece around there. So that will be that piece. And then we're just going to bring in a white piece of card to cut this one out. Okay. And then run those through your machine. So these dies are great, Joe, because they're just good for making any mats and layers, adding any detail to your card. You don't even have to do too much with them other than cut them out.
Could have used your new nesting dies on there if you wanted to, couldn't you?
Absolutely,
Make a panel
yeah,
on the front of that would also be
absolutely.
nice.
Yeah, any sort of nesting dies, any decorative die that you've got for the front you can use, create a card dies. Even with one of your shaker card dies, you could put them on the front and have a nice butterfly, couldn't you, on the front in your shaker card. Yeah, absolutely. There's just so many different things that you can either add to them or use this whole collection. So let's just empty my die. Take all those bits out. Cuts beautifully. This is such a pretty die. So pop all them to the side. And then that will go on the front. So all I'm going to do with this one, Joe, is use my dotty tape pen to go around all those edges.
I'm just having a bit of a dance over here, Debbie.
You're doing a dance?
Just having a little bit of a dance, yeah.
Oh, any sort of dance?
Sort of a bit of a Bollywood number.
A bit of a mango dance?
Bit of a pat the dog, change the light bulb.
Not a mango dance?
No, not mango dance. We've had enough mango chutney for today.
Joe loves dancing with his mangoes.
That sounds really rude. It's not.
Pop that in onto the front there. There we go. And then this one is going to go onto the top. Let's take all my pieces out. There we go. And that's going to go onto the front. So that is going to decorate the front, and then we've got room then to do our foam flowers. So actually, couldn't have been better timing. So I just need to go and find some ball tools, Joe. So if we stop there and let everyone catch up with their sticking on and die cutting out.
Okay, I'm just going to remind everyone then, in that case, Debbie, about the shaker cards, because that launch day from yesterday is still so incredibly busy at the moment over on the website. They are brilliant. If you love making shaker cards, you're going to love them, as you'd imagine, because they give you these beautiful shaped shakers with all the little compartments in there as well. You also got the ability to cut your own shaker elements with these smaller dies here. You get the banner, you get all the sentiments and the stamps included. You got the flower. You'll also get the butterfly, the perfume bottle, and you've got the mason jar in there as well, which is excellent. The viewers on YouTube are joking about Ben's return, saying, Ben who? Is there a Ben that works here? So you go for those, £44.95, £59.85. You're getting one for free in that configuration. And then the other one that I know you're going to adore are these brand new sequin dies. You can cut sequins out of mirror card, pearlescent card. They really are brilliant. A great way of using up scraps. £18.99, £27.95 gets you the circles, the stars and the hearts, which is brilliant. So don't miss out on those. Should we just quickly check in with Lisa as well whilst we are here, just so everyone's catching up. Lisa, I'm not going to distract you for too long, but I just thought I'd check in and see how you're getting on.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh, amazing.
I'm just sticking on all my sentiments.
Brilliant. Looks amazing. I will come back to you real soon, Lisa. Right, Debbie, you ready to press on?
Absolutely, yes. I found a ball tool. We've done our front of our die cut, so I'm just going to pop this back on. And then get your iron ready now. So we want our iron on, your hot glue gun, if you're using a hot glue gun. So you want that to be able to make your foam flowers. Let's pop them all to the side for a minute. And then we're going to bring in our flower dies. So this one here, there we go. Just take all those pieces out the way. That's it, we're a little bit more tidier. So this one's a great die. It gives you all these different sizes of flowers. So again, if you didn't watch Wake Up Call, we made some in there. So we're going to do that again with these. And we're going to use all of the 4 dies. So different flowers, different sizes of the petals, should I say, and you're going to be using your leaf dies. And then your foam. So if we get some foam as well, Joe. The foam is brilliant because it comes in all the different colours. So you've got the beautiful pink, red and the different greens. So I'm gonna use a different green to this one. So let's pop that inside and then just take out the one that we need. And we're also going to be using them in pink. Now you can do a variety of flowers. You can use your pink and your red if you want to add those into there because you've got those colours, or you can just stick to a one colour flower. So this morning we made the red ones. Now we're going to make some of the, there we go, some of the pink ones. And all we're going to do is fold this in half. So fold your sheet in half and then fold it in half again. And then we're going to grab our Gemini plates. I've got my ball tool as well. So I've got my mat, so my stamping mat. You might have a sponge that you've got that come with your ball tools. And then I've got my largest ball tool as well. So while your iron is heating up, just checking that mine is, yep, mine's getting hot. We're going to pop these onto our plates. Oh, doesn't want to come right. Just onto there, and then we're going to lay all of our flowers. So your piece of foam folded up will take them all. Just got to bring them all in there. And you can always, once you've done that, put them quite closely together, and then you've got some, if you want to cut extras out, you can do that as well. And again, with this one, let's just trim this down because we really don't need all of that sheet. So be quite frugal with your foam. I'm going to fold that in half and half again. So that's given me 4 petals and 4 leaves in one pass through the machine, which is amazing when you think about the pressure that goes in a die and how thick this is when it's folded up. But it also means it's just the right amount of petals that you need to create your flowers. So we're just going to pop that in.
I mean, I guess you could decorate the outside however you want if flower form isn't really your bag.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. And you don't need to use the foam either, Joe. You could use just your paper stock. Flowers out of your paper look just as nice. It just depends your preference, what you like. The other thing that I absolutely love making flowers out of is vellum. Is there a vellum pack in this?
There is a vellum pack with it, yeah.
Oh, do you know what, Joe? You could make vellum flowers. Not
Nice.
even thought about that, using the vellum pack for this. It would be amazing. Right, so let's pop these all out and just part them. So you just have to sort of get your nails in them. You could flick the edges, use your pokey tool and just take them apart. So we've got our little small ones there and we've got 4 of each. And it's really up to you how many you do. I'm a bit sort of worried about time, so I think what we'll do, we'll just do one really lovely full flower, which will be nice to decorate the front with. I'm a little bit, I feel like 2 is not the right amount. It needs to either be, it needs to be an odd number.
An odd number?
1 or 3.
Why don't we go for 7?
Why is that? Why? I think it looks, it just looks nicer to the eye, doesn't it, when you've got an odd number? Not on everything, but when you're looking at anything on your
I think if
cards
things are like lined up vertically, or horizontally, sorry, I mean, you know, like things lined up on a shelf, even numbers all the way.
Oh, okay.
You know, if you were like, had things
Yeah.
on a shelf, I'd go even numbers.
Oh, no, see, I wouldn't. I don't want
Really?
it, because where's the middle?
Well, between the 2 middle ones.
No, can't have that.
No?
You've got to have, the middle would be 1 in the middle. There wouldn't be a middle if
No,
you had...
thank you.
No, thank you.
Yeah, I don't know, maybe I'm more of an evens person then.
Yeah, no, I'm definitely odds. I think odd numbers are more pleasing to the eye for some reason. Or maybe just to my eye. Right, so, yeah, so we're just going to be going with one really lovely large flower. So, pop them on there, just so we don't lose any. Oh, I've lost one already, Joe. Lost my little one. I definitely had it because it's cut it out. I'm sure that will turn up, so let's pop them to the side. It might still be on the bottom. Oh, there it is. Look, it is. It's still in there. And that's why it's always good as you go along to put your dies back on their carrier sheet, because then you know you've got them all safe and it's easier to find them quickly rather than forgetting where you had them last. Right, let's bring the iron in, and then we've got our ball tool, and we're going to just pop these to the side, making some room. And we're going to start with our largest ones first. So let's just bring the largest ones in. We're going to place that on there and just using our ball tool, let them rock down. And then that next one. And then what we're going to do is manipulate these petals. So fold 2 together. You fold then another 2 together, and then you tuck that 5th one in. And I'm just going to give this a bit of a, I haven't got my, I don't know where everything, oh, it's there. It's there. So let's just grab this.
I mean, if it's not John banging, there's a man with a strimmer out the other side now. It's all going on today, isn't it, Debbie?
Do you know what though? They've put that shelf up wonky out there and it's really bugging me.
They use the spirit level though, because I saw them.
It's not, look, it's really wonky. It's not me, is it?
No, it's definitely wonky.
It's really wonky.
It's really wonky, yeah.
So we've got a shelf with our ink pads that they're putting outside, and the shelf is amazing, but it's wonky. And it's going to absolutely bug me. Joe's looking at the door. No, I don't think they've noticed. Go and tell them, Joe. I think they need to know.
I'll let you tell them after the show, Debbie. Don't worry about that.
I'm not telling.
No, thank you.
I'm not telling. I'm not telling.
Oh, I'll be like, oh, Debbie just said you put that wonky, is what I was saying about that. Debbie, tell her what you just told me.
Oh, can you imagine going out there? It's because they're under it where we're away from it.
They were using a spirit. I could see them using a spirit level.
Did they use a spirit level? They couldn't use a spirit level.
They obviously didn't do.
It's that wonky.
Do you know what they didn't do, Debbie?
It's
They
that
didn't do the
wonky.
classic male building technique, which is, of course, holding something.
It's that wonky that if they put something on the top shelf.
Oh, yeah, that's all right.
Apologies to
Didn't do
any
that, did they?
builders out there. It's that wonky. If they put something on the shelf, it will fall down. Oh dear.
They'll be sick of us by the end of the day, Debbie.
I think I might tell them when just before 8
Just
o'clock.
as you're walking out, yeah. I reckon so.
I'm going to have to tell them because that will really, really bug me, unfortunately. So, Right, so all I'm doing, just to save a bit of time and we get it down, I'm just popping these as they get smaller onto here. And then we've got our really small ones.
They're a
which are
nice
just
size,
gonna-
these ones. I'd say they're slightly smaller, wouldn't you, than our regular flower forming dies, the ones in here.
Yeah, they're a lovely size actually, but they're so cute. They're just amazing. And then all I'm going to do with these ones is just use my ball tool just to stretch the opposite way to where they've gone, just to pull those petals back out. Then when you start layering these all up, because we've used 4 of each, we're going to have such a beautiful full flower. So last couple. I could totally lose myself
Could you?
in flower forming foam. Yeah, I could just sit and make them all day long. I could do this on holiday, but I don't think I could take an iron with me and sit by the pool with an iron.
Can you imagine?
Can you imagine that? People would be like, what
With a
are you
really long
doing?
extension lead going all the way back to the room. Up over the 3rd floor balcony.
Right, just going to literally, just for a few seconds on these ones, because you just want them to curl at the edges.
If you're on holiday, Debbie, and you
Yep.
have a preference for where your room is, are you like a ground floor person, a 1st floor person, or a 2nd floor person?
Well,
My mum would always ask for a ground floor
Ground
room,
floor.
which I think is surely, that doesn't make any sense to me.
Why?
Also, creepy crawlies, firstly, get more of them in a ground floor, and you don't get a view from a ground floor room. But my mum liked the ease of access.
yeah, so when I was ever away with work, I always asked for a ground floor because
Really?
it was just easier to be on the ground floor and not have to go upstairs or in the lifts. And yeah, so I've just got some of our stamens here, and I've got myself a piece of craft wire. So yeah, if I had an ideal, then yeah, probably ground floor, I think, Joe.
Oh, amazing.
Yeah. But I can't say I'm ever that worried. Right, then
But
we're
what
going
about on holiday, ground floor?
Yeah, I think I quite
Really,
like
ground floor? Oh,
Yeah.
I'm shocked. Also, I think security as well is the other thing. Definitely an elevated room for me.
But if you're on a complex or in a hotel, then security would be the same anywhere, wouldn't it?
Maybe.
So just pop in our stamens through your little wire, and then what we're going to do is get our pokey tool. So this is what we were saying about earlier. So always start off with your smallest buds, and also be mindful about what space you have left in there. Because you know, Joe, earlier I was saying about putting your pokey tool right through. You need to be careful with your little bud ones because there's not as much room on that centre piece.
You don't want to split it, I guess.
No, not at all. So we're not going to go too far up our pokey tool.
This is getting comedy, isn't it? Now there's a low flying, we've had banging, we've had strimming, I said. We've had low flying planes, very loud cars. It's just all going on today, isn't it, in Newton Aycliffe?
Wonky
What
shells.
next? We'll have the air raid siren will be next over the road. Is that tomorrow on a Friday?
And then we go to the pawn shop after.
P-A-W-N for the record. P-A-W-N. That could have been bad timing, could it? Oh no! No, the pack shorts fell over.
Daisy, it's good job
Was that you,
Daisy got
Debbie?
in. It wasn't me.
That's hilarious. I knew that pack shot was not going to last a day, didn't we? It only needed to survive another 7 minutes as well, and it would have lasted.
Look how our flower's looking. Just taking it back to our flower. This is looking beautiful. So putting more petals on really does work. Oh, dearie me.
Oh gosh.
Right, so let's pop that in. And then we're going to go with our third layer. This is so beautiful. Even if I do say so myself, even though I can't say that.
That's really gorgeous.
Yeah, really beautiful. So popping that in, and it really does now look like a proper peony, doesn't it? A real peony. We've got all those beautiful flowers, beautiful petals layering up. I'm running out of room at the bottom of my pokey tool, so let's see if we can just get them through and then hope we can thread. I'm just going to do them all, Johnny. So yeah, Johnny's like, you're putting them all on. I just figured we might as well, as we're just going to make one big feature of our flower, we'll pop them all on. But you can do 3. I did do quite big ones, but not as big as this in the actual demo.
They look very realistic, don't they?
Looks amazing, doesn't it?
Sirens Thursdays, Joe. Sandra's reminding me. Thank you for that, Sandra. I won't be here.
All right,
I haven't. Is Sandra in
pull
Aycliffe?
that out.
Oh, okay.
And then we're
Honestly,
gonna
the first time
thread
it went
that
off, I
through.
didn't know what to do. Didn't know if we should have been evacuating. Yeah, it's very funny when people come in for the first time and it goes off. I think it's some sort of factory nearby or something, isn't it?
Right, so we've got all that in place, Joe. Now, I'm not going to cut off my whole wire, so I'm just going to cut down there. So we've got our flower to put on, and then let's bring this back in. So I think the only thing we haven't got time for is to do any of our other die cuts, but look how beautiful that flower now looks.
Really lovely.
Absolutely beautiful. So let's bring in, I'm using my hot glue gun. So we will, oh, we've run out of glue stick. Oh, what's happened there? Oh. Sorry, I didn't mean to sound so. I've got to find a glue stick now, Joe. Sorry.
Can anyone let me know if this is Cheryl saying this? Can anyone let me know if the flower foam comes with a collection? It does, yes. Comes in with a full collection, and it's also no, it's not in the paper and card collection, is it? But it's also available on its own individually as well.
no
Joe,
glue
please
stick.
share what you and Debbie
Oh,
are
there
hearing
we
in
are.
your ear. Your hysterical laughter makes me want to join in. Oh, well, that was a honking horn nearby that went off that we just heard. Did you not hear it at home? It was a honk, honk, just like that. You okay, Debbie? Debbie nearly took a tumble. You all
I don't know
right?
what I'm doing today. Oh, that was the mat. I tripped over the mat. Yeah. Oh, it's bending over me petals, look, because it's so hot. So let's just pop that down just there. There we go. And then I'm going to just add some little globules of our glue. There we go. I am just going to pop these around the edges. I love the way these curl with the heat. Makes, again, it's just making them look quite realistic. Oh, didn't want to go in there.
Cheryl says, such a gorgeous flower. It really is.
Yeah, it is
I
beautiful.
love peonies.
Yeah, me too. There we go. Let's stop there, Joe, because I know we're running out of time and I know we want to check in with Lisa as well. But there we go, even with one flower. So I'm going to bring the one in that we had with 3. But actually, the one looks just as pretty. And actually, I think I like the one more because it shows more of the die. So it looks really, really beautiful. But yeah, here we go. It's take that one away. And then you've got the inside
Well, Debbie,
of
you did
your
it.
card. We did it.
You
yeah,
did it.
Absolutely. There
That's
we go.
absolutely incredible. It really is. How amazing is that? What a wonderful, wonderful craft along. That is. Remember that the full collection of the Country Lane is still available for you. 31 dice, 53 stamps, card, paper, vellum, lace, ribbon, and more is coming to you in there. Should we drop back in on Lisa and see how she's getting? I can see she's still crafting away there in Norfolk. How are you getting on, Lisa?
Okay, thank you. I've got,
Oh,
just put the flower on the front,
wow.
and then I'm
That's
still got the
amazing.
inside to do.
Have you enjoyed putting this together?
I have. I've enjoyed learning how to use the foam.
Oh, is it your first time?
I've done that. Yeah.
Oh, wow, that's amazing. You've done incredible.
Thank you.
Yeah, really, really great. Make sure you send us a picture when you're done. Lisa, thank you so much for coming on today. It's a pleasure to have you
Thank
company.
you for having me.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Right, who else is here? Debbie, could you tell me the return? Debbie, you could tell them, talking about the boys, you could tell them to return the spirit level as it's obviously faulty. Can't wait for you. I can't wait for you to go out and tell them in a second.
I mean, honestly, how can they think that that's straight? It's really not straight.
Oh dear, it's going to be trouble at Mill after this show. Remember, another great show coming away a little later. You've got a couple of hours now before myself and Debbie, excuse me, got a frog in my throat, before myself and Debbie will be back with Creative Cravings. So that one show of the week, we'll take it maybe a little bit more back to basics. That'll be here at 6 p.m. This evening in the UK, 1 o'clock on the East Coast, 10 a.m. if you are over on the West Coast. If you have been crafting along with us, then please do, in the break, send us a picture of your project. You can do that by emailing us studio@crafterscompanion.co.uk, and we'll try and share some of those in that later Creative Cravings show. Massive thank you to Debbie, massive thank you to you guys, and we'll see you back here in a couple of hours. Take care.